Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Demetra's Dishes. November is here and this is my favorite time of the year. From now until New Year's, I'm going to be bringing to you delicious recipes that are perfect for entertaining. And especially these first 3 weeks, each week, I'm going to teach you how to make a complete menu from start to finish, from appetizer to dessert, including with like a step-by-step game plan at the end of the week to show you how to put it all together. Each menu is going to come with a downloadable ebook. You can get that on my website, demetrasdishes.com. You guys will be able to host Thanksgiving and whichever holiday you celebrate now until New Year's, even all year round, with these menus. This week's menu is delicious. For the main course, we're going to have a turkey roulade that's going to be stuffed with a roasted red pepper and feta dip. For a starter, we're going to serve a cheese and phyllo spiral that is perfect for munching. It's going to be beautiful. Then we're going to have lots of delicious sides. We're going to have the Greek version of a green bean casserole. It's going to be green beans and potatoes. Almost all these dishes can be made ahead. Of course, I'm going to also teach you how to make cranberry sauce. And then something super special, I'm going to share with you my stuffing scones. They are way better than stuffing. Hold on for that recipe because you're not going to want to miss it. Today we're going to begin with dessert. For dessert, I'm going to show you how to make my pumpkin pie minis. And these are going to be made with a phyllo crust. I'm starting with this recipe today because you're going to be able to make this 2 weeks ahead of time. What could be easier than that? Let's go over the ingredients so we can start. We're going to need some pure vanilla extract, some canned pumpkin. This is cooked pumpkin, not pumpkin pie filling. That's very important. Some softened cream cheese that's at room temperature. We have some granulated sugar, a little bit of softened unsalted butter, salt, ground cinnamon, and a little bit of ground ginger. We're going to use some eggs, whole milk, and then for the crust, we need some phyllo. This is regular number 4. Phyllo that's thawed and at room temperature, a little bit of ground cinnamon, and some granulated sugar. So to the stand mixer, go ahead and add the softened cream cheese along with the sugar, the spices, and the butter, and a little bit of vanilla extract. And beat this on low speed until everything is combined. Increase the speed once everything starts to combine. And once it's all smooth, we're going to go in and add the pumpkin. Scrape the sides of the bowl down so everything mixes evenly. And mix it until everything is all combined. We only need the yolks for the filling, so I'm just going to separate the whites from the yolks. And I'm just going to pop them into the mixer. Mix them until everything is incorporated. And you could save the egg whites for tomorrow morning's breakfast. Now I'm just going to pour in the milk. And this is milk that's at room temperature. Scrape down the sides of the bowl one last time, mix it all together, and then the pumpkin pie filling is ready. Now it's time to assemble the little pies and put it all together. Now what I love about this recipe is that this feeds a big crowd. This makes 24 little mini pumpkin pies. That's great, especially if you're hosting a party with a lot of people coming, or everybody loves dessert, so people are going to pick up more than one of these. I guarantee you, but there is a way to use the same exact ingredients, same recipe, and turn it into one decadent, rich, indulgent pumpkin pie. The step-by-step method to do that is going to be in the ebook along with pictures and everything like that if you want to make one pie to serve about 10 people rather than these 24 little mini pies. So before you start, you're going to need 2 little muffin tins. And we're also going to need a pack of phyllo that's been thawed out overnight in the refrigerator. Then make sure that you leave it out at room temperature for at least an hour to 2 hours. So that way everything is easy to work with. We're going to make 2 stacks of 6 sheets of phyllo, and we're going to butter in between each layer and sprinkle each layer with some granulated sugar and some cinnamon. Each stack is going to make 12 little pies, and you'll see what I'm talking about as soon as we do it. We're going to work with 1 sheet at a time. Drizzle some melted butter. We usually don't brush it, but this time we're going to brush the butter all over so that way it's covered and all of the sugar and cinnamon can stick to it. Sprinkle about a tablespoon of the sugar and dust some of that cinnamon on top. Now, if you wanted to, you can just combine about 3/4 of a cup of granulated sugar with about a tablespoon of cinnamon. The exact measurements are going to be with the written recipe. And just keep doing this until you have a stack of 6. So the top layer doesn't get the sugar and the cinnamon. The 6th layer of each stack just gets melted butter because that's going to end up being the bottom of the pie. And you'll see what I'm talking about as soon as we put them in the little muffin tins. So you're going to want to make one stack at a time. And we're done with the first stack. Now I'm going to cut it into 12 squares. And try to measure when you do this so that way everything is even. They should be 4 inches each. Now just brush some melted butter into each cup of the muffin tin. Now you're going to take each little phyllo square and nestle it into the muffin tin. And you want to do that the butter side down. I'm going to set this aside and I'm going to create the second stack of layers the same exact way. So you're going to have a few sheets of phyllo left over. I have 4 sheets left. I'm just going to wrap them up so they don't dry up. Once I'm done, I'm going to wrap them with plastic wrap and store them in the refrigerator for another time. Now I'm going to fill the cups with the pumpkin filling. So I like to fill them using an ice cream scoop so everything stays nice and tidy. Fill them all the way up to the top. After filling all of the phyllo cups with the pumpkin pie filling, I did have a little bit left over. So I just put in a little ramekin and I'm just gonna let it bake in the oven on the side of the pies. At this point, you could just take them as they are and set them in the freezer. Once they're chilled and frozen, wrap the trays tightly with plastic wrap so that way they don't absorb any of the smells or aromas from other foods in your freezer. And they could stay in there frozen for at least 2 weeks. So this is great. 2 weeks before your dinner party, you could just do this whole thing, and then the day before, just bake them off like we're gonna do now. I'm gonna freeze one and bake one so that we can show you what they look like. My oven is preheated to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. I do like to place the muffin tins on a baking tray, so that way it's easy to transfer in and out of the oven without shaking it and getting burned. I'm gonna let these bake at 350 degrees until the phyllo is beautifully golden all around and the filling is set. I will show you what that looks like as soon as they come out. My little mini phyllo pumpkin pies took exactly 40 minutes to bake. What you're looking for is for the phyllo to be golden brown all around and for the center to be perfectly set. Once they're ready, take them out of the oven and let them cool in the muffin tins. Let them cool in the muffin tins for about 15 to 20 minutes so that way they can set and hold their shape. Then take them out carefully using an offset spatula or a butter knife and put them on a cooling rack so that way they can cool completely. Set them in the refrigerator overnight so they can be nice and chilled. Then it's really nice to pipe a little bit of homemade whipped cream on top. Homemade whipped cream is so easy to make. It will be in the ebook along with all the rest of these recipes. Go ahead and serve it. You could even sprinkle some cinnamon on top, but I think they're perfect as is. It is time for me to take a little bite. Did you hear how crisp that is? The phyllo is perfectly crisp and buttery and slightly sweet from the sugar and cinnamon that's in between the layers. The pie filling is just like, it's like a light pumpkin cheesecake, but much lighter because there's not that much cream cheese in it. I think you guys are gonna love it. Your guests are gonna love it. Go on over to the website, dimitrasdishes.com, to download the ebook that has all of these recipes in it along with the game plan, step-by-step instructions, and loaded with tips and tricks that I may have forgotten to mention on this channel. If you want to make the pumpkin pie, then go ahead and click on this annotation right here, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye guys.